It is all about the convergence back to the origin point at Sirius. We meet back through the precession, through the galactic cycle, on an Earth ship. This is why you have the maritime law put in place by the rulers and the architects of this world system. They know that we're in the plasma sea as a ship.
And everything is mechanical because we're on a ship and because this is a ship.
Here's the polarity working, because you also said that it's like an incension occurring, a collapsing through. So there's two things happening all at once. And I don't know if you want to speak about that.
Sure. Because of the nature of how we are creating reality and how we're experiencing reality in creating a body that is designed for deeper levels, we have to go deeper into our own creation, which means that we are actually creating density. So as opposed to the opposite, which is ascension, which would be what the spirit and how the spirit interprets consciousness on those levels. So it's emerging between the two. And that's the marriage between the two, quote, bodies, the spirit body and the body, the physical body of matter as we are creating it. And that's
the transmuting process.
That's the plane we're going to be meeting at in the center.
Yes. It was revealed to me the mystery of the convergence of the red Kachina and the blue Kachina. And I realized what Prince's song was all about when he sung about Purple Rain. Because a lot of these musicians, they're also revealers, okay? And they do reveal mysteries through music, through movies, through all forms of the arts.
And their name, like Prince.
So the convergence of the red Kachina and the blue Kachina, it's the marriage, and it's the purple rain that occurs through that convergence. And if you read the lyrics of that track, and we'll link that, you'll realize that there is a mystery being revealed there that also is linked to the Syrian mysteries of the violet flame, because it's what it does bring. It does bring the cosmic energies of the convergence, which do bring about a transmutation of our physical form, either for the positive or the negative.
Because currently we have two states that are coinciding within the same space and being torn apart because they can no longer reside within the same pool. These frequencies are, by nature of their anti-magnetism of what they've created in their own duality, they're being split apart from each other, and that divide is happening. And so when the convergence of the event horizon happens, there are some people that think that perhaps maybe the consciousness of the few can transplant everybody into, but it doesn't work that way. It's completely a split. So you're going to be seeing, you could say that the new verse is already created and waiting. The new real version of life is there. So there are some that are already there.
And there is going to be a positive gathering.
Absolutely.
As well as a negative.
Absolutely.
Harvest.
Yeah, it has to, because those two cannot coincide in the same universe anymore.
No.
And the negative aspect has to play out what they've created and what they've co-created onto their end of whatever it is that they are doing within themselves in their own state of consciousness or unconsciousness. And with that comes the beings that you could say are the hitchhikers that are not even a part of this verse, that, you know, are like the fleas that are attaching themselves to the real bodies. Right. So, and that will have to play out its own code.
Well, I feel that there are no accidents here with what is allowed to penetrate through and get in. So I feel that that is all part of the dualistic nature of creation and destruction, and we do have a choice in what we abide with and what we adhere to or do not adhere to. And this is the thing, we were always here to resist and overcome the world system, and to expand and mind over matter, our spirit mind, through the bridging of that, and have the spirit actually bring about that transmutation to positive, where we will not be influenced by these negative aspects, which is why we have certain scriptures that say that certain people will not be touched, that they will have a form of fortitude and protection. So, you know, whereas others will be, you know, stung by tribulation.
This experiment in creation, this experience that everybody's having, and everybody's having their own particular verse experience, their own verse experience. And that, because it's based on an illusion. Much of the experiences that people are going to have, you will see some people that have lived a very negative timeline, but suddenly have been transformed, and they have, it's almost like a rebirth into their own truth of consciousness, and they've let go of the past. So there is our own divinity in what we've created, in the experience that we're having here. And it's to merge what you really are. You're just remembering. This is a process of remembering. The convergence of the event horizon is a combination of everything in one fraction of a split second, that within it contains everything that you are, every decision you've made, everything that has comprised the experience of your being.
Well, it is said that there comes a certain point. Now, for some, it is after they die, and so where there is an opportunity where people are able to see all their deeds and the result of their deeds, and how they made everyone feel around them, you know, through cause and effect. So is that what you're talking about, where there's a certain point where people can see everything in a totality of what they created?
Yes.
Through their experience.
Everybody's going to have that.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that they're going to be going, that everyone's going to be going to the same place at the end of it.
No, you're going to go essentially where you have manifested your entire system of
your verse.
Your verse. The more that you hang on to polarity, duality, and the game as per the harvest, then you will be neutralized through the harvest. You will be a proponent to the reality system that they've created to keep everybody enslaved. And you'll be utilized to that end. So Isis is the female aspect of the Trinity that is formed by Osiris and their son, Horus, which is a theme that has been played throughout cultures and civilizations from the very beginning.
So it's paying homage to the creation aspect. So it's not always what people think it is. And this is the thing, like, and you also have, so for example, you have religionists that will say, oh, you're not meant to look into astrology.
Yeah.
But yet it says in the Bible that stars were created so they could be signs of the times, so that we could observe the times. So again, there's so many contradictions, and this is why it is a book of duality, and then they have to be examined very carefully, because it's going to confuse a lot of people.
Well, one of the strong messages in the Bible is to keep people from seeking, quote, these arts, because the answers are there. So all of the ancient scribes and all of the ancient magicians and all of the architects throughout time that have been creating the mind magic have been utilizing all of this.
And all these cosmological cycles have been written as part of the mysteries within that authorship, which they themselves included as part of the scriptures. They tell you it's part of the script of the cycle. So this is how they can prophesize future events, because they know what happens, because it repeats itself. This is also a clue that the Jesus Christ account was cosmological, because you have before Christ and after Christ. Why is it that the date resets at Christ's death? Because it's the start of the new cycle. It shows you right there. And this is how we know we're coming close, because it's like just over 2,000 years each age. But there are ages and movements to the equinox which bring about more severe earth changes than others. So even though there were influences of the binary system through previous cycles, this is the culmination of the grand cycle. We meet Sirius every 24,000 years, approximately. And this is what the Hidden Hand also outlined in their disclosure, which was a directive and appointed to be given to people for this time. Even though the authorship deliberately mentioned false dates for certain events as part of the law of confusion. So again, it's for people to see through on a deeper level.
Well, and this is what the event was with the flood, Noah's flood, as well.
Exactly. Yeah. All this authorship is coded by the mystery schools. Okay, this is what I got threatened for the cycles. They know when this. They know the markers for when this binary system is going to enter and pierce through the dimensional veil and come as a thief in the night. That's why they wrote that. Wormwood comes in. It is a fire. It does bring literal fire, and this is why the elites are prepared to go underground. Okay,
Which
and it
is
brings.
what I was shown that
You've been shown this.
That I'll go into that testimony and give the full description. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come, your Lord, the celestial being that is going to converge.
Yes, there's also, see, the Lord is coming out of his dwelling to punish the people of the earth for their sins. The dwelling place, okay, through the darkness. It is a dark star. Another one, see the Lord. See, the Lord has one who is powerful and strong, like a hailstorm and a destructive wind, like a driving rain and a flooding downpour. He will throw it forcefully to the ground. But your many enemies will become like fine dust, the ruthless hordes like blown chaff. Suddenly, in an instant, the Lord Almighty will come with thunder and earthquake and great noise, with windstorm and tempest and flames of a devouring fire. This is the Lord here depicted as the nemesis star, the dragon, the red dragon, red Kachina. It is obvious. You would have to be blind to not see this. No offense. The floodgates of the heavens are opened. The foundations of the earth shake. The earth is broken up. The earth is split asunder. The earth is violently shaken. The earth reels like a drunkard. It sways like a hut in the wind. So heavy upon it is the guilt of its rebellion that it falls, never to rise again. In that day, the Lord will punish the powers in the heavens above and the kings on the earth below, as in underground sheltering. They will be herded together like prisoners bound in a dungeon, They will be shut up in prison and be punished after many days. The moon will be dismayed, the sun ashamed, as in not shining, for 3 days of darkness. For the Lord Almighty will reign on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem and before its elders with great glory. So this is all mostly taken from the book of Isaiah. It is all there for Bible students to cover and to determine exactly what it is. There's a lot of Christians that don't adhere to the wormwood star, the nemesis system, the red dragon, and that it is going to be coming for this age, Generation Z. So, but we have we've been called to testify, not only to what we have decoded and been allowed to see, but also, yeah, because we have known about these not only ecological events, but cosmological events that we've been shown and been prepared for our whole lives to experience and to witness. So we are now acting as witnesses also to what we've been shown and what we have been allowed to see and what we've been led to via our insights and the help from the Great Spirit, the benevolent Spirit of truth, which allows truth to be recognized. And if you're not a seeker, then you're not going to be giving yourself opportunities to be exposed to truths, to have those aha moments and those unlocking moments. So we do encourage people to seeking and, of course, behaving in good spirit every day, because the scales are being measured in accordance to our thoughts and deeds. And anyone who tells you you're going to get through on faith alone and you can do whatever you want and just say, I believe in you, Jesus, you're in deep trouble. Because the Bible scriptures themselves are word to the contrary, an outline to the contrary. So
I would just like to discuss a phenomenon that is taking place where a lot of people are not witnessing the binary, trinary system that's coming in yet. Many people are witnessing it. So you have people who are in the same locations not seeing this coming through the veil, while you have others that are together witnessing it. These two things are occurring at the same time. And this has a lot to do with what I was talking about in the state of consciousness that we have, what polarity you're being ascribing to, whether on a subconscious level or a conscious level. So there are those that are going to be able to witness these events that happen through the sky, through actually seeing it, because you're going to be in this 0 point. Now, the 0 point means that you will be able to see everything all around you. There are those that are going to be witnessing it because they are on the negative timeline. And so they want to play out, and they're going to be playing out the negative aspect of it. So they will be witnessing everything in a way that's going to be super tangible. While there's going to be some people who are not capable of witnessing it because they're already energetically in a different time and space while being here at the same time.
okay, so if I translate that correctly, you're basically saying that some people are going to have experience the harsh elements of tribulation, whereas others in the same era will not be experiencing those harsh elements in their transmutation and where they've been guided to be as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing about the whole metaphor and allegory of the dying sun and the resurrected sun is that our sun is literally dying right now.
One of the things that I witnessed was that at the time that this would occur, the entire sky would be an orange color. This is not just a radioactive result. what is happening, and part of the reason why the simulator sun is being utilized the way it is, in such a way that it's now painfully obvious, is because our sun, the real sun, is dying. And a part of what the convergence of the event horizon is what is happening to the real sun, or shall I say the real suns. So that has an effect, which is, it's a microcosm, macrocosm effect on our DNA, on the fabric of everything that creates reality and what we experience, because we are in unison with the sun. We are, and this is why the sun gives life. And throughout all the cultures, the sun has been the life giver.
For these bodies.
For the, exactly.
For the sustenance it needs.
Right. So we are, in essence, the microcosm to the sun, which is the macrocosm. And we are experiencing the exact same thing as the sun. As the sun, the real sun, is dying, it is actually giving birth. So this
and you outlined that it is a completely new sun. So the old sun does die.
The convergence of the event horizon has never happened before, not the way that we are going to be experiencing it. Prior to that, it was the same sun. But we are literally in the middle, inside the center of creating a new verse, a new medium, a new template to experience life itself with a new sun. So
even though there's been other grand cycles preceding this, like
the other grand cycles have been grand, but nothing parallels what we are coming into now, because it's never happened before like this.
Okay, why do you say that? What is different? Why is it so
That's
different?
what I was shown, and so I can only explain what I've been shown. I am not a scientist, and I do not have proof. We're creating a new entire verse. So what is occurring with the real sun is a death and a rebirth of a new sun from what happens, the type of death that the sun goes through. Where we're going and what we're creating no longer has a place in what we've already done here. What we've already done is now becoming obsolete. And this is part of the reason why we're accelerating at the rate that we're accelerating, and we're breaking through the veils. And where our DNA was dormant, it's now not becoming dormant anymore. So that metagene is becoming fired up. And we are creating a new basis, a new template to experience life.
Well, it is going to be a igniting in transmutation as well, even a genetic igniting.
Yeah, it will be in a flash.
Mm-hmm.
The transformation is already taking place with what is happening to us on a subatomic, atomic level, not just in our DNA, but in the way that our own electromagnetic is firing within us, and the thoughts, the consciousness that is opening up to areas that were not available to us prior. So, and in essence, we're opening up other universes, and we're entering them, and we're creating. And it's already been created. So what we're stepping into is basically waiting. And some are already there. It's such a magnificent event. It's such a magnificent journey to be at this point. And this is the reason why almost all the incarnates are here. And it's been the highest population ever, really, because everybody's needs to be here.
Mm-hmm. It's the grand of the grand.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. And that is, there are no words for that. It's too holy an experience, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I don't think we can fully wrap our minds around it. It is, but all we'd say is that there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. You know, with our choices combined with where we're at cosmologically and what's occurring and what our state of being is as well. So it is a very major culmination of choices going back millennia.
Yeah. But before that happens, we're going to be witnessing a lot of things, including the creator of this particular containment ship, and the quote, the New Jerusalem, that's going to be witnessed. That's another
like we say, the portals are going to be opening up at these junctures, and people are going to be witnessing things that they, in their wildest dreams, wouldn't imagine manifesting into this reality. So, and this is exactly the stuff that Hollywood movies are priming people for. A lot of people think it's just mind control. No, it's also a conditioning exercise. It's not just like mind control.
No,
you're being primed. So, because otherwise it would just be too shocking.
Yeah.
Don't forget these rulerships here, these elites. Okay, they feel that they're here as stewards. So this is exactly why it is the chessboard operation, and they do supply the white squares as in positive elements and technologies and which are beneficial, as well as the negative. They themselves are maintaining a balance in their duality game according to how they feel they've been directed to conduct this game in this field. So look, they have technology. If they really look for major things, if there were major negative events that would be initiated, if they were out of bounds, there would be intervention by the extra universals. It would be allowed to happen. If there were beings that really just wanted to wipe every creature off the earth, that wouldn't be allowed to happen unless it was authorized from a very, very, very evolved level of creation. So everything that happens here, none of it is an accident.
No.
And the benevolent family are watching, and I have emphasized this before. They know every hair on your head, okay, and every thought, every intention is known. You cannot hide from them. You might be able to fool a whole bunch of people as to your character, okay, and how great you are. But behind closed doors, all right, they know exactly whose heart is what and what place people are in their heart.
More importantly, we have to know that within ourselves, because this is our story and our narrative. And the benevolent family know this. And this is the reason why the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not to be found elsewhere or outside. It is always within you.
Because we are also creators in our own right on the micro level. We do have the spark of God within us. So it's not to diminish us completely, like many religionists are entrained to believe you're just lowly scum. You know, it's like, no, you are more powerful than what you've been entrained to think you are.
Because you are a creator from the creator. You are the spark from the all spark. So this is the love story we wrote to ourselves. This unfolding and the becoming and the remembering. This is the love story of creation. And it is our love story to ourselves.
Yes, honoring ourselves and honoring creation, the positive creation through our thoughts and deeds also, and hopefully spreading that outwardly and trying to be the light in the dark, so to speak. Because look, I know I said words in previous video to the effect of, you know, even defending and it's like, it's not thou shalt not murder. It's not thou shalt not kill, it's thou shalt not murder. I'm telling you straight out, I never ever hope to have to spill anybody's blood I hope that is absolutely never part of my experience here. Nothing would upset me more than having to have my hand be put as an instrument of harm, even in having to defend myself. I hope that whatever heavenly protection and guidance and what I've created in my verse has enabled means that I will be sheltered from anything of that in effect. You know, the last thing I want is to harm anyone, even in defending myself or loved ones. You know, so I hope that no one got me wrong in that, because, you know, we are living through challenging times, and times will be challenging, especially when these birthing pains increase and accelerate more so, you know, leading up to this great shift, you know, and the rising of the Lord, you know, the dragon, Satan, you know. But I know for some, that they won't have to face tribulation, and some even in ways will even be spared through the portal of death, so to speak, you know, through crossing over, through even succumbing to certain disasters which take place. And really, that's how we should view death, is that death is a doorway.
This is a very fascinating journey, and it doesn't have to be terrifying, and it doesn't have to be anything that, because a part of this is a script. And this is something that has to be kept in mind, is that all of this is a script.
All the world's a stage.
And the world is a stage. And I truly, truly feel that the more people remember and the more that they step into who and what they really are, the more that they can unlock their own meta-being abilities, that which they always are and have been, so that this script, it doesn't dictate reality to you.
No.
So, because this part of this containment system, it is a game. And
well, it's a test and it's a trial through the tribulation of this life.
And it's an experiment in potential. So, you know, we have to keep this all in mind, and also keep in mind the illusory nature of how we're experiencing the projection, because there's a very good possibility that these bodies are the tip of the projection and not necessarily the real body.
Yeah, that's a valid point. Yeah, because there are many sub levels and layers of existence, and how our spirit even is beyond the containment system.
Completely. I want to end it there, because I really want people to focus on that, because that's where their power is, and that's where they're going to draw their power in through to the tipping, their little tip of the projection that they're living. So
yeah, we know in our essence though what is best for us in terms of beneficial actions and the effects of choosing the contrary to that. So, you know, we are being refined through fire, and the crux of it is not to be burned, but to be molded
in the refining,
metaphorically, into the diamond.
Well, I think that in many ways people's lives are the refining through the fire.
Yeah.
And
So
this is what everybody's been living.
Yeah. So the coal carbon aspect
Mhm.
to the shining light spectrum producing
Mhm.
diamond.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah, maybe Rihanna was onto something, revealing in her own little way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're given that. So because the
Revealers.
information's out there.
But do you notice in the duality, even, I mean, just on a quick note, I know we're wrapping up. On a quick note, you see how their music is like sort of promotes vice and carnal, but yet it also
Mhm.
includes mysteries and
Sure.
see, that's just one example of how they play the game. This is their duality. They have the black and the white square in the one
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
So that's them bringing the balance forward. So the rest is what you choose. Are you going to see the beneficial help that they're providing, or are you just going to like embrace the lower nature of what they're bringing forward and trying to influence you with in that? So that's their game. That's their platform. That's how they're working it, and we're here to choose accordingly. Because a lot of these players know they're playing in the field here, the field of manipulation, and really we choose.
Mhm.
In many respects. Yeah.
And we are all celestial bodies, just like the celestial bodies we have been discussing tonight, just as the lords of heaven, we are celestial.
Yeah. All those who contain in essence
Mhm.
the spark of the all-spark within them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Stay tuned, and we look forward to bringing you more on these aspects. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Was I when I let you collide? Felt colder inside your